Right, still testing if he is really a vegetarian. And I got the perfect way of checking today. Well, let's see. If he would eat cheese, that would definitely not make him a vegetarian. So let's see. Well, he's just going to sit there, so putting little cubes that I've cut of cheese. Let's see. He's not going to eat it. Let's see if the other cats eat it. Yep. Yes, they eat it. They love it. But there's no way vegetarian cat is going to eat it. He just won't drink milk, eat meat, eat cheese. He just wants to eat these little pellets and drink water. That is it. So another day confirmed these two want to have a fight about the cheese. Let's give them each a little piece. And now it's time for me to cut the tiger's meat again. This is quite a job every day, but it's fine. I've been doing it for a long time. Quick job for me. Although today one of these buckets had a hole in it and the juices leaked out into the fridge, out onto the floor, and I had to clean this whole place again. So I think it's time I get some new buckets. Well, I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to carry this off to the tigers and feed them some of it. I'm not going to feed them all of it. It's a little bit much, but let me just carry it like that. So let's go. Cats will be eating the cheese. That one's got a little piece of meat there. Ah, this one is also just joint. Let's just see if she takes a piece of the cheese. Yes. Yeah, they do. But vegetarian cat, no way. He is going to eat that cheese or meat. Right, let me just get through here. If you could see me now from the other side, I'm carrying 12, 13, 14 kilograms of meat around. I've got one hand to do it with. Diego, ooh, he loves this. I'm going to go to the other side because I know that the dogs are going to bark. And that becomes a little bit irritated, especially on the videos. Trying to make the videos as pleasant as possible to watch. Sometimes it's not that easy. And there's the same tiger. Things are getting out of the pool. They just know that now it is time for meat. Oh, okay. Just put it down. Let's just give Enzo a piece first. And Diego. That's a bit close to Enzo, but it's fine. There's a few extra pieces. I actually like it when I give it to them like this, just throwing it over. It's one thing when you're designing an enclosure, you have to know what to design. Sometimes you have to, depending on the regulations, you have to close up the top. So this is an open enclosure. So if you have to close it, it's not going to be possible to feed them this way. It's going to be way more difficult. There's certain ways that you can do it. It's not really that much of a problem. But it all depends on who is feeding them. It's easy for just someone who's been doing it for a long time to feed them. Just look at him grabbing that and running away. But what happens is sometimes someone needs to help you, and then you don't always know if they are capable of helping you to feed the tigers, because people want to sometimes put their hands in there and let the tigers lick them and things like that. That is not really possible. Don't do it. But if you know what you're doing, it's going to be quite easy. Won't be any problem whatsoever. Whenever I had someone to help me, I've got a little, almost like a gate over here. There you can see it. This is bent closed, and it's got this piece of iron in there, so you can actually move this and then get access to the tiger enclosure, to put a bucket through there. I'm going to first feed them before I do that. So yeah, if you are going to have someone that helps you, might be a good idea to have something like that. It's not a permanent thing, but it is semi-permanent. You will be able to allow someone to just push a bucket full of meat in there. Getting it out is another thing. Sometimes you have to have quite a few buckets. I don't always just go in to go and fetch a bucket. The tigers do carry them around sometimes. They play and they run and they bump into it, and it travels quite far. There's one bucket lying way over there. So it happens. But when I go in and I go take it out, then we have to wash them. So these stainless steel buckets are the best. I've tested everything. Plastic just won't work. They will damage it. It lasts 2-3 times, sometimes not even once. But the stainless steel buckets really work well. Like at the moment, I don't even need a bucket. I'm pushing it a bit here with them being too close to one another. They don't really mind, but I don't want to push them. Cats are still eating over here. They're all enjoying it. Yeah, so I was thinking maybe I should give a few tips on how to design an enclosure. What do you need? What space do you need? The height, all of those things. So I'm slowly going to be talking about that every video, saying a little bit more about that. So first thing, you don't want the enclosure to be too big. You need size. That's great. I think the more size you've got, like, you are slowly going back to the wild, the bigger the enclosure gets. So you want to keep them at a reasonable size, although you don't want to put them on an open piece of ground, a huge piece of ground, because then they're going to start hunting on those grounds. They're going to turn into wild animals, and that could be a very big problem. If you've got a wild animal living on a piece of ground and they don't have food anymore, they will get out. So your enclosure size, I'd say about 1,000 square meters, maybe a little bit bigger. That is quite sufficient. That is good. What I have also noticed is the quality of the enclosure needs to be more than the size of the enclosure. So if you've got a big open ground, not going to help much. Tigers wants to lie around. They don't want to go walking kilometers and kilometers like some people think. They want to eat, they want to sleep, they want to play, they want to swim, they want to climb on their jungle gym. That's it. They don't want to go and work so hard for the meat. So yeah, I actually put this fence up here, this one over here. People have been asking me, why did you put this up here? Because this whole place used to be their enclosure. Well, there's a few reasons why I did that. The first reason was the enclosure was, the shape was wrong. Once you've got a square enclosure, you're basically forcing the tigers to only walk right here by the window where everybody is. They will stay here. They will not move away from you. If they do, they move right to the back and they take a nap and you cannot see them. So it helps a lot with this piece of fencing in here, because this gives them room to walk. They actually use this enclosure now. They walk up and down on this longer area now, and it's quite a long area, and they enjoy it. And people are also able to see them, where if you've got a big square ground, you don't know where the tigers are, and they tend to just spend time in one small corner of it. So this long walk area allows them to get in much more exercise. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. If you want to design the enclosure, make it a bit longer, make it a bit narrower rather than just a square piece of ground. Of course, they will not be getting in so much exercise. Well guys, I'm busy here taking out meat, feeding them, but I'm running a little out of hands at the moment. So I'm going to be saying goodbye so I can finish feeding them, and we'll keep in touch. So listen to my old videos and the newer ones as they come along. I'm going to be giving out a lot of tips, what I've learned, how to keep tigers. It's just my opinion, but it comes from experience, and I hope you can find that interesting. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great evening. Keep in touch.